if you want to play the game, you have to play the game. It's not like I'm making the rules, you're making the rules. You can slowly change them. At the end of the day, I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do and what I think will work, but I have no idea what I'm doing, and no one does. If there was a blueprint, you know what I'm saying, you'd be able to pay for it. Country is now shining super hard where it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are
talking about some real shit.
Talking about, yeah, you guys are like telling a real story. And I literally called my mom, because at the time I still had a split account.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, look at my account. It's a big frog, bro. 30 minutes later, I get a knock on my door and there's like 11 or 12 cases of Happy Dad at my mom's front porch.
What the?
Like, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna put 110% of my effort into it and do it right.
On today's episode of the One More Time podcast, we talked to one of our favorite new artists named Anella Herim. He's seen huge success recently, dropping music in packs of 3. That's right, 3-song projects. You can even drop 3 songs on a single. People don't know that. We dove into his thought process around this release strategy. He shared a major gem that will help you tell better stories in your music and get people hooked. And we talked about whether or not genre is even a thing anymore, as he attempts to blur the lines between country and hip-hop. Does it even matter? If you're an artist who's sick of getting put in a box, wants to tell better stories in their music, and is looking for creative new ways to release their music and get it heard by the masses, this is a fantastic episode for you. Start the episode.
So the version you're telling people is that your hair gets in your food when you eat,
which is a real version.
It's a valid reason.
Yeah.
I think ultimately the reason is he wanted to cut it.
Yeah. You feel me?
You know?
For sure. Well, welcome. We got Anella Herim on the podcast. Nella, welcome, baby.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Man, this one's been, long time coming, but
yeah, for real.
All things that, what's the saying, Henry?
We're bad with sayings today. I don't know.
Great things come to those who wait, I think is the saying.
We'll go with that.
Makes perfect sense.
Season 3 just dropped.
Yes, sir.
I need our audience to understand, what are we doing here with the season's rollout?
Originally, I wanted it to be like an album because, short form content is the thing right now. So it's like people are just unloading so many singles onto consumers, I guess you would say, the professional way to say it. And I was like, I hate short form content. I hate 15-second clips of songs, hoping they go viral. Even though it's got me where I'm at, I'm not complaining.
I was like,
I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game.
I'm like, you're so good at it, despite hating it, bro.
Thank you. When I started the seasons, I wanted it to be an album rollout because I feel like as a new artist, if I put out a full body of work, people are gonna write it off after 1 or 2 songs if they don't love every song. So it's but they're not gonna listen to it as a project. They're gonna look for a hit because that's what people are trained to do right now. And if they don't find it in the first 3 songs, it's not on there. You know what I'm saying? You already lost their attention. So I thought if I did a season and I did 3 songs on it, and then people would pick their favorite one of that because it's easy to listen to 3 songs. Second season, pick their favorite song off that. Third season, pick their favorite song off that. I'm gonna go up to 5 now. At the end, I would do a compilation album called 831 The Series. And so there'd be 5 seasons, and then each song is an episode. And then for the music videos, I'm just redoing my favorite movies and stuff, which is probably what I'll do for a long time because there's so many great movies.
So is that where the Holes?
Yeah, Holes, Pulp Fiction. We're trying to do The Hangover right now.
I saw that. You're kind of teasing that with Don't Hit Me Up or what?
Don't Hit Me Up. Actually, for Don't Hit Me Up, I'm gonna do Mr. Rogers.
Oh.
Which is we ain't told anybody that yet, but I want to do
exclusive, bro. Early
One
in
more
the
time
episode.
Exclusive.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? You walk out and I'm in the sweater vest and start taking the shoe off one by one, and I'm just rapping.
It's kind of interesting how you have to almost earn the full length album these days. You really can't come out the gates with it, or it's just underappreciated.
Well,
it's not a project.
Yeah. So what do you say to the people that are kind of album purists? Because there's so many people in our community that
is my fucking art.
Hate what you just said.
It's
bro.
my art.
What's your response to them?
I feel the exact same way. It pisses me off. I would.
God damn it, Anella.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I would love to just do albums, but it's that's not what's working right now. And it's you can't be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do it, if you want to play the game, you have to play the game. It's not like I'm making the rules, you're making the rules. You can slowly change them, but it's to come, to step in front of people that are used to doing a certain thing for so long, because it's the easy thing to do and it's what's working right now, and to tell them, nope, you're wrong, screw you, we're going to do it my way. They're not going to, you know what I'm saying? That's not very inviting of me as an artist who wants to relate to people to come and be like, oh, you're not doing it my way? We can't relate, sorry.
Here's my thing about it. The way that I always position it to our community of artists is look, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, no one's here to actually tell you you can't drop an album early on in your career. But let's just be realistic
until you want to create a community and monetize.
Let's just be realistic about the expectations on how people are consuming. Like you said it perfectly. Like, they are, you know, fans, potential fans are consumers, and like they like to consume, majority speaking, in a certain way. So to your point, like, you can do it the album way when you're early on, but your listeners probably, you know what I mean? Your listenership's probably not going to be as high as doing it maybe in this way.
Yeah, it's less likely to do what you want it to do. But it's like, if you're making it for you, you're making it for you. That's where it ends. So do what you want to do. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So how hard was it for you to kind of like accept this approach? You know, was there a lot of back and forth between like you and a team, or you and your own head? Like,
both. But there's like, I have a very good team, and it's like, I'm stubborn, but I'm not stupid. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. I might try to rebuttal or make my point make more sense. And like, half the time when I talk, I'm just trying to convince myself anyways.
You're lawyering a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I have people that have been successful in the line of work that I want to go in, and in the lines of work around what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having opinions from every angle, and not just as an artist or as a producer or as a DJ or as an executive or I'm not just getting one opinion. I have a very, you know what I'm saying, or a lawyer or whoever you want to talk about. I have a very diverse team. And so it's like, it's easy. And I'm not the only one putting money up. So it's like, we got to do what we think is going to succeed. If I'm doing what I think is going to succeed and I'm wrong, then I got to answer for that. You know,
we got to make the shareholders happy, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
go. But thankfully, they're all happy with what I want to do.
Oh, so it's like, I would be ecstatic.
I'm not sacrificing anything.
Yes.
But it's like,
Sure.
So for you as an artist, what do you think you needed a team most for?
Everything. I have no idea what I'm super indecisive.
Okay.
So it's like, creatively, I do feel like me and Seven, we just sit in the studio and make pretty much everything.
Shout out Seven in the building.
Building.
Let's go.
Can't hear these bombs I'm dropping.
Yeah.
I'm dropping bombs for him, though. You can't hear it.
That was an adorable wave, Seven. All the way from the corner.
But yeah, we like, when it comes to creative, like we don't really let anybody in on our craft. We kind of create and then give people a plethora of like products to pick from. But with everything else, like when it comes to needing help, bro, at the end of the day, I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I want to do and what I think will work, but I have no idea what I'm doing, and no one does. If there was a blueprint, you know what I'm saying, you'd be able to pay for it.
I think more people need to admit that, right?
You'd be able to pay for it was a bar, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think y'all heard that part, but like, it's not just like everyone would do it. It's like you'd be able to buy it. You know what I mean? The labels would buy it.
Literally.
Okay, so with the different seasons, in my mind as a fan, right? Like I'm listening to season 1. It's kind of the more like acoustic, like softer shit. Season 2 is a little more like punky, right? Season 3 is a little more hip hop. Like, talk to us about what you're trying to do either sonically, and then like the differences in like the creative processes of making the different seasons. Like, I want to just understand what your approach has been.
He just said he has no idea, Ben.
Well, he at least knows what he's done so far.
I know the
3
outline.
seasons in.
I know the outline.
Sure.
I'm still figuring out where the pieces go, but I know I've created the outside of the puzzle. That's where you start, right? You know what I'm saying? You build the edges and the corners. The series is called 831. So each season is like, season 1 was I love you. So it's 8 letters, 3 words, 1 meaning.
Ooh,
so season 2 is
deep, bro.
Deep cut.
Season 2 is I lost you.
Yep.
Season 3 was I made you. Season 4 and season 5 will be called another version of 831, which is like, I love you, I miss you, I need you, I want you, I know you, I have you, I knew you, I hold you, I hear you, I feel you.
Which one's it gonna be, bro?
Take your pick.
I know.
So it's like, when it comes to genre, I feel like a lot of people right now with the short form content are focusing so hard on and it's really been like this for a long time. But people say, you know, find one thing and do that, and people will love you for just that. And it's like, that is the exact opposite of being human. You know what I'm saying? Or having emotions. It's like, I don't wake up every day and feel the same thing. I don't listen to the same type of music, especially growing up as a consumer in the SoundCloud era, or when streaming became your main, you know what I'm saying? I don't have to go buy an album and listen to that person and really fall in love with every song. It's like, I'm gonna go listen to rap, I'm gonna go listen to stuff from the 50s, and I can listen to stuff from 2024, or I can listen to stuff from 2017 on a playlist that's like top 10 songs of the 2010s, or whatever you want to call it. Like, there's so much to pick from. And I know personally that I know what songs I already love, what I grew up on, and I don't know how to look for music. I've never been good at that. But when it comes to my projects, I want there to be, in a sense, like, you don't have to go anywhere else. I don't feel the same emotion ever. So when I create music based on how I feel that day in that moment. And so it's all different. I grew up listening to every single type of music you can imagine. So
Like what? Who are some of your favorites?
I grew up listening to like Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, the Beach Boys, the Carpenters with my memo, and then Eminem or what's like the SoundCloud era. Like I have Lil Peep lyrics tattooed on me.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah, like Blink-182.
Yeah.
I had the Rock Face, Green Day, like everything. Hymns.
Yeah.
I grew up in church. Like,
So then sonically, they are supposed to be somewhat like different, like subgenres of your sound. Is that fair?
yeah. However, it makes sense to you, but that's kind of what it is. Does it whatever makes sense to you? Classify it however you want to classify it.
Well, how did you go into it? What was your, you know what I mean? Like, what was your creative process for like season 1 versus 2 and 3, for example?
So I make so much music, it isn't even funny. So I just picked, a group of work, and I was like, okay, you guys help me pick out. You know what I'm saying? We came up with the strategy. I was like, okay, you guys help me pick out 3 songs. And so I had just made Lock and Key. We were bumping that all the time. I was like, let's put that on there. Broken Hearted was one of our favorites that I recorded in Atlanta at Astro, like my first session at Astro. Like, how long ago was that, Seven? Like 2 years? 2022.
Wow, yeah, 2 years old.
Yeah, and then so Lock and Key I just did last year. Or was it this year or last year? It was last year. Yeah. Super last year. Yeah, I bet. And then what was the third one? Broken Hearted, Lock and Key. What You Meant. So What You Meant is a internet money beat, and it was like my first pack I got when I got with Def Jam, and then my old A&R Chelsea, shout out Chelsea. It was my first pack I got, and he sent me like 10 beats, and we recorded a song on every single one of those beats within like 8 hours. And and I Don't Mind is one of those beats too.
Fire.
And we did those like 2 years ago, and so we just been listening to. One of those songs was brand new, one of those songs was relevant, and one of those songs was old, and we loved all 3 of them. So it was like a way for me to get the old music that they want out and the new music that I'm still excited about all in one, if that makes sense.
So it had nothing to do with like, hey, for season 1, we're going to go with this type of sound versus season 2. Like it wasn't really that.
I think they feel like the songs feel like a family. I think they feel good together.
Sure.
That's my biggest thing when it comes to releasing music is like, can I listen to these in a row and not be like, oh, like, it doesn't sound like you're changing the channel. It sounds like one season. It's consecutive. You know what I'm saying? They flow into each other.
So Lock and Key obviously just went crazy.
Insane.
I mean, it immediately took off, right?
Yeah.
I was watching it go neck and neck with Tennessee Love Song as far as total streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
I was literally like, it was like a horse race, bro, for me. I was like, wait, is it gonna, which song's gonna win? Yeah, exactly. As you're kind of making the 3-pack for season 1, did you know that Lock and Key was gonna go?
Not when we were making it. We knew it felt good. But this is like country now and country 6 months ago was not the same thing.
Yeah.
It was becoming popular, but right now it's like, oh, that's what country's the new thing, which is not the new thing. It's been an amazing.
It's one of the oldest. It's actually one of the oldest things.
Yeah, literally
in music.
The newest hot thing.
Yeah, it's been this good. Y'all are late to the party. I feel like for a while when like mumble rap or melodies and beats became more popular than the lyrics, that's what people were listening for. They didn't really care what you were saying. And now that that's been not played out, because some people still do it right, but now that it's become so many people that record in front of a camera and they're like, oh yeah, I make music, and then you're like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Country is now shining super hard where it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are
talking about some real shit.
You guys are like telling a real story. Like I can really lose myself in this and relate to it.
Yeah, but so Lock and Key, like, you didn't really know it was going to be the smash that it.
Nah, I had talked to Sud and I was like,
shout out Sud in the building.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Sud.
But I came up to him and I was like, yo, I want to record this video. Like, how they do the hanging mics. And I was like,
so good.
But with the video, I was like, bro, yo, I'm going to pull up the studio. I want to record in the garage with a hanging mic. And I just want the most diverse background. Like when people look at this, I want them to mute it and be like, this is a rap video. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you unmuted it, it was like, oh,
never mind.
It's like, what is going on? And so I knew that was going to do something, but I didn't know that it was going to get the attention of like On the Radar. And they were like, yo, we think we want to start this country On the Radar.
I knew it. I knew they based this around Anella, bro.
Yeah. So they're like, we'd love for you to kick it off. And I was like, yeah, I'd love that. And I went to there, and then I literally made like the track, because I sang it live. So I made the track because I didn't have a TV track. I didn't have the beat without the lyrics. So I had got the guy that mixed it, shout out Elijah. He sent me like acapella and the beat separate. And then I went and like chopped it up and like turned the volume down and stuff to where it was like the chorus.
You had some backing vocals.
Yeah.
You
And
made
the
a
harmonies.
so you made a show mix for yourself, essentially.
Yeah,
Or like
literally 3 minutes before we recorded it. Like what you see, literally 3 minutes before that, I'm on my laptop, like a bunch of people around me that are about to do like rap and stuff like that. Met a lot of cool people there.
Okay, so then that was kind of how season 1 went down, as far as like, you know, you had already made a couple of them and like one was newer.
Yeah.
You know, did season 2 and season 3 also follow that process, or like, you know, what was the creative process for those two?
When it comes to season 2, what was it? It was
Bitter,
I Don't Mind, and Wasted on You.
Yeah.
So Wasted on You was actually the newest song I had made at the time. That was a bedroom song. Me and Seven cook up in a bedroom, and so it's
Some
like
of the best shit.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's not really bedroom. We have nice speakers, and I've invested money into it. But it's like
It's the vibe of the bedroom.
in a bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a commercial studio.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
And so we had just recorded that, and Seven actually produced on it too. So me and Seven made the beat and then recorded it, and we just loved the song, and it fit good with season 2. And I wanted to put out something new, because for a while we were putting out, everything I was putting out was years old. And I was like, oh my gosh, we make such better music than this now. So for season 2, we put out Wasted on You, and then I Don't Mind had done good on a reel. It was one of the first songs that we had all agreed on, because we had several release plans before we released. We picked this method with the seasons. We had picked out songs before, like with Tennessee Love Song. We had originally had like 4 songs to come after that, but then it went crazy. And so we were like, oh, well, change of plans. What are we doing now?
Let's go ahead and like
let's-
highlight that for people.
Yeah.
Like our audience needs to understand.
Yeah. So like,
You might not have been thinking about that song at first, but it doing well on a reel is kind of proving that people like it.
Yeah.
And that should have some kind of factor in your decisions. Like maybe it's not your favorite song, but if it's your fans' favorite
Yeah, if that's
song,
what I can't wait to put it out, because
Come
I'm
on.
still going to put out what I want at the end of the day. I'll have it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
but so Tennessee Love Song.
Went insane.
Yeah. So when a song starts to go crazy like that, what was your response to it? How did you actually, you know, because we always hear the term of like add fuel to the fire, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's respond to a record that's moving. Like, so what did you do when that started to go crazy?
The original version of the song is not acoustic. It is the version that's out now. That is the original version. It was my first session in Nashville. We pulled up on Evan, which is who me and him produced it and wrote it. And so that was our first session in Nashville. And I knew it was a hit when we made it. I literally looked at Seven, like, we've got a vlog of us making the song. And like I was like, bro, this is like...
have you released that?
Yeah, it's out.
Okay, good.
It's
Yeah.
out. I got a channel called Anella Vision.
Vision.
Which is like the behind the scenes, everything, or just like more of my personality, less my music.
I love that, by the way, because some people are afraid to show the personality stuff, or even just point a camera at themselves and start talking.
Oh
and
no,
show
I
the
don't do that. I
personality.
don't do that. It is.
What
not,
about you holding the frog?
That's just like a video that like my girl took, because she was like, we were pulling up. It was like 11 p.m. and we had just pulled up, and she was like, "Yo, don't hit this frog that's in the road." And I was like, first of all, it's probably still not there. She's like, "There's a big toad," and I'm thinking toad. You know the difference between a toad and a frog, right?
No idea. I'm from a city, bro.
So like toads are like little and brown. They got bumps on their back. Frogs are like smooth.
Okay.
You know, so you think of a bullfrog or a tree frog, you think really smooth. A toad is like rocky.
Okay.
So it's like, she's saying toad. I'm like, toads are like that big, Max. I'm like, unless you're in, never mind, that's still a frog. So toads are like this big, Max. I'm like, yeah, there's no way you saw a toad from your car. And if you did, it's not there. Or I'm not going to see it. Like, I can't help that. But I'm still going to go slow, because if I do end up hitting this frog and realize
You're never going to hear the fucking
no, I'm
end
gonna
of
have
the
to tell her,
frog.
and she's gonna be pissed or cry. And so it's like, I'm in a Corvette. Like I'm in my. We'll talk about that. That was a stupid decision in itself, but I'm driving it. I love it.
What, buying the Corvette?
Yes, like
He got the advance and immediately bought a
like
Corvette.
I had to learn though. That wasn't the first thing I bought. I bought a bunch of music equipment first.
Okay, and then the Corvette.
Yeah. But anyways, screw that. We don't got to talk about my bad decisions.
Maybe we do. Maybe it's helpful. For
No, we
people out
will.
there.
We definitely will. I can't wait to tell you how bad I've messed up.
Okay.
But so I'm pulling up, and I see like this little pine cone. I see this rock. I'm like, that's not the frog. It's not the frog. It's not the frog. And then my lights catch this gigantic, just white, like reflective. So I'm like, well, that's huge. That's definitely not the frog. But what is that? So I'm like, but maybe that is frog. So I pull up, and like I literally get like 50 yards away, and it's just like linebacker stance in the road. Like, I can see its eyes and like its stomach. Like, it's a big frog, bro. So I'm like, I'm freaking out. Like, I'm like, this is the first time I've seen a bullfrog in person. So I got out of my car. I like turned on my flashers, got out of my car, and chased it down. And I picked it up. And then, so yeah, she came out and she was crying, laughing, and she just started videoing me. And then I was just like in the heat of the moment. I was like, look at this, bro.
Bro, that's some country ass shit, bro. Like,
So the point of this was maybe make a separate page for that type of content.
Yeah,
if you don't like posting it on your main page.
You know what I'm saying?
oh God. All right, back to your bad decisions.
Fire.
So what did you do? What,
Dude,
you know,
honestly,
I didn't make.
why are you so disappointed in yourself, Anella? Like,
It's just like,
Let's frame it more like what decisions could other people make that you could help them out when they're in your same position?
so honestly, I regret it and I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it because I learned to regret it. And it's like I didn't mess up the most amount of money. It's a lot of money especially for like still so much money. But I didn't understand how much money it was because it happened so fast. You know what I'm saying? And
so what happened?
I got signed.
You guys,
I got signed.
I need everyone to understand.
It's
So you
like-
get signed.
And I was very, very fortunate.
You got the bag.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so, but I'd been talking about this car for 2 years before that. I mean, everything that's been happening, even when it comes to Happy Dad, shout out Happy Dad.
Shout out Happy Dad.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and just all cheers to our Happy Dad. Happy Dad, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
We'd love to
to
share the message of the Happy Dad every week on the One More Time
I'm a
podcast.
happy dad.
Amen.
Exactly.
I'm a happy dad of two.
Good.
So
Congratulations.
perfect. Thank you, man. But yeah, so
Yeah, so like when it comes to
get signed.
Yeah, I got signed and then I like went and bought all the music equipment I could think of. I got the guitar I wanted, the bass I wanted. I bought a drum set. I ended up returning that because it wasn't what I wanted.
Does the money all come in?
No, God, no. You get an advance, you get a recording budget, you get a marketing budget, and then you get a return or a back end for when you complete your obligations.
Sure, but the advance does like come in
A lump sum.
yeah,
like
you get a certain percentage
The
of what.
shit hit the checking account.
Yeah,
Fat.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It was like GTA. Like I
Yeah.
refreshed, and I literally called my mom because
Yeah.
at the time I still had a split account.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, look at my account. I was like, fucking told you. But
Damn.
so that happened. Splurged on studio equipment. Literally got everything I could think of, and then I really wanted a dirt bike.
Guitar Center was like, who's this guy?
Literally, no. The guy thanked me. He was like, "Bro, thank you so much." He's like, "We get commission on these sales."
Oh
You
shit.
just made my month.
You just literally. Those were his exact words. I was like, "Bro," I was like, "Thank you." I was like I bought a Nord, which is like also
Keyboard?
not a bad decision, but another just something I shouldn't have done.
Just excessive.
But I knew what I wanted and what I had seen, because I grew up in church too. So I'm seeing all these people with the nicest instruments. And, you know, I'm not thinking I'm a rapper now. I'm like, I know what I've wanted for a while. I'm going to go buy this Nord. I'm going to go buy this Telecaster, this American made, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Texas T Telecaster, which I still play that. Great decision. I'm going to go buy this, bass. Like I know what I want. Like a 5-string or whatever you want to call it. Everything, I knew exactly what I wanted. So I bought it. And then, you learn. But when it comes to bad decisions, I don't regret it either. I can't even say I regret it because I love it. I love it so much. I talked about it for years. We would literally sit in the garage and my boys would be smoking and there would be an empty space in the garage. And I would literally look at them and be like, you guys know what's crazy? I was like, one day you're going to be sitting here smoking and there's just going to be a C8 behind us. Like, and it's just going to be badass. And we would literally talk about that all the time. At the time, too, they weren't making some type of chip in China or something like that went in the cars because of what was going on with the virus and shit. So it's like, they were expensive. They were super expensive at the time. I did not pay what it was worth. You know what I'm saying?
You got a deal.
I got a deal. So I was like, I've been talking about this car for 2 years. I want this car. I was like, I know I want this car. It's not a spur of the moment decision. I've been talking about it for God knows how long. I found a good deal on one. It's already matte black. It's already got the wing. You know what I'm saying? It's got low mileage. I want it. I can afford it. I want it. And now I'm like, you could have bought a tour bus. You could have
a Sprinter
and rented it out.
Yeah.
You could have spent that money. You know what I'm saying? That was a couple years rent at a house I would need. Obviously not a mansion or nothing, but like at a house that I could have afforded. That's a couple years rent. That's this, that's that. That would be less stress on my travel. I've toured 3 times now. That would have been less stress on that. You know what I'm saying? I also thought, you get signed. I made it.
I'm out of here.
You get signed. That is the beginning. You're now in the race.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I went from playing college ball to being in the NBA. That doesn't mean anything.
I hate to interrupt this episode, but guys, I got one thing on the mind right now, and it's data. I can't stop thinking about it. All the artists in 2024 are winning because of data. They know who their fans are. They have access to their fans. Do you? Spotify's not telling you who your fans are. Apple Music ain't telling you who your fans are. But our friends over at DistroKid created a feature called Hyperfollow. Every single release, you can set up a pre-save campaign with a hyperfollow and get access to every single fan's email address. Now you can let them know when you have a show coming up, when you're dropping exclusive merch, when you're going live. And without the data, you're just bound by the algorithms of TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. No more relying on those platforms. We're going straight to our fans. DistroKid is the best DIY distributor. You can upload unlimited music for a ridiculously low rate. And you're gonna have access to features like Hyperfollow. OMTdistro.com, you're gonna get 30% off when you sign up for DistroKid, and you can start collecting your fans' data today. Henry, let's get back into it. So, how blurred do you feel the lines are between like hip hop and country right now?
I honestly don't think they're blurred at all. I think that there is a there's a new category or an old category or a subgenre or a new genre or whatever you want to call it. There is a fusion, but I still think country is just as strong in the country lane as it is, and hip hop is still just as strong in hip hop. It's just the fusion sound is what's popular. So I don't necessarily think that they're like
The blurred line between the two?
I don't know if they're blurred. I just think some people are catching a wave, and it's like, because if you ask most country fans if they like hip hop, they're gonna say no. And if you ask most hip hop fans, like hip hop heads and country heads, if they like country, hip hop heads are gonna say no. There are people, and a lot of people right now, that like that blend, but I don't think they're blurred to where it becomes, you know what I'm saying, people that are hardcore country fans are like, let me hear some 808s. Like, it's not that blurred.
So what do you as an artist like most about the country genre, and like what are you drawing from most there, and then what do you like most and draw inspiration from on the hip hop side?
I would like to guess. I feel like the hip hop side is a lot of the production side.
Yes, sir.
The drums and whatnot.
For sure.
Your
Look at you, bro.
Your voice. I mean, I listen to his music. What do you mean? I get it.
Shit,
Like,
I don't know. You be sleep sometimes.
I'm a producer engineer. Like, I hear, but
Swag.
your vocals, you know, are you have the accent.
Yeah.
You have,
I'm
you
just
know,
Southern.
the harmonies. You have, you know, typical like country kind of things. So
No, yeah, it's definitely the lyrics with country. Like
Yeah.
the story, putting an emphasis on what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, when I'm saying it, why I'm saying it. And not just something that sounds good. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
mentioned you like to be what, locked in with just you and Seven?
Literally just being
That's
Seven.
it.
Yeah.
So, you know, season 3 was obviously, you know, all 3 records were produced by DAGotThatDope.
Yep.
So
got that dope.
did you lock in with him in person, or did he just send packs?
Yeah, so DA is actually part of the team.
Okay.
Like, first,
So
like,
he's on the like list of people that you
Short list.
the very short list of people you're okay
It's like-
being in the studio with.
Yeah.
Not even. He's like,
Look, so I'm not gonna lie to you. He's the most critical. In a good way. It's because he cares, obviously. But like, DA will ring my shit out over music. Like,
you need that.
no, obviously.
Every artist need, because we
Obviously.
just had Troy Taylor on the podcast.
Who's the ultimate do that shit again. That was not it.
He wouldn't let his artists go to the bathroom until they got the takeout, bro.
Because he thought their tone might be different.
Yeah, no,
you're
that's
locked in,
real. That's
you know?
real.
Yeah.
That's real.
He's the GOAT of R&B, so yeah, it's
That's
definitely
real.
real.
Yeah.
But so how's DA?
Well, he's a genius, first of all. Like,
Of course.
But none of the songs on the project I recorded with him. Like, they were all, two of them are like 4 years old. And Don't Hit Me Up, me and Seven did in November on a cabin trip for my birthday.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's just y'all two.
Yeah.
At the cabin.
No. It was me,
Okay.
Seven, my boy Dab, my boy Rich, and my girl.
Okay, cool.
And so they, my girl and Seven took me there for my birthday.
Nice.
And so, but I'd bring my studio everywhere, like, because that's what I enjoy doing in my free
course.
time. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Of course.
So we did that. We did Don't Hit Me Up there. But when it comes to DA, like, he's just super funny guy, super talented, super genius, super blunt and honest, and just like straight to the chase. So it's like sometimes to catch you off guard, he'd be like, "Yeah, that doesn't sound good." I'm like, "Oh."
You're like, well, fuck me, DA.
Yeah, I'm like, cool.
All right, I'm gonna go work at McDonald's.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, let's try something else."
So how does that kind of feedback impact you? Like in the moment, does it like completely throw you off?
Nah, of course not. And he's got like, I know him now. I've known DA for a couple of years, so it's like I'm super comfortable around him. He's just a funny dude. I'm like, sometimes I'll take the advice, and sometimes I'm like, nah, you're tripping.
Was
Let
he
me finish
like-
my idea, and then I know you'll like it. You just don't know what it's gonna sound like at the end.
That's fire.
Was he like that in the very beginning, or did he have to kind of work his way?
Nah, he's always been him. He is so honest. Like, yeah.
He
Like,
already had the accolades too to back it up.
He was
you know?
already
Bro,
got that dope.
what? Literally.
Yeah.
He has got the dope. He's the dope man.
We know this.
I went to him for the dope.
He's
So,
trapping hits.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh man. So, you know, we'd be remiss if you like that word?
You love that word.
We'd be remiss if we didn't bring up Titty Boy 2 Chainz himself. on the new project. So what is the connection with Chainz?
So Sud,
Yeah.
I've been working with Sud for a long time, but he's 2 Chainz DJ.
Okay.
So it's like
It's family ties.
literally like street true, like all that. When I started working with Sud, he immediately started bringing me around, you know, all the people he was connected to and introducing me to people and showing me around and creating a name in his circle. That way I would be good wherever I went. You know what I'm saying? And so Chainz was one of the first like famous, successful people I met. And so I've known him for a while.
But like, at what point does the feature conversation, you know, because
you had to wait for that.
Exactly. You meet him. Yeah, Sud's your team.
Yeah.
And then he's Chainz's DJ. But
gotta
it's
be
like,
strategic.
Yeah. How did that unfold? And then like, how was this the right time to be on track 2 of this, you know, this most recent project?
So we talked about it for a long time.
I'm sure.
It's been in the works, but I mean like Chainz. Like Chainz had brought up a feature, and I had brought up a feature before, and we had talked about it for a long time. And I remember one time we were in Live in Miami, and I forget when this was. This was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half. But I remember like we were standing there. I was actually with my girl, so this wasn't a year and a half ago. This was like within the last year. But yeah, and he just like, he's talking to me. He's like, yeah, bro, how you been? I'm like, I'm good, bro. Very good to see you. He's like, yeah, shit. When we gonna work? I'm like, I was like, oh shit, because he, so like we had talked about it before, and I knew that he knew, you know what I'm saying? He knew, and that he was down, and obviously he knew that I knew, and that I was down because that's a fucking given. And so, but I literally told him, I was like, bro, I'm just waiting until the right time. I was like, I'm going to hand you a hit. Like, I'm not going to put you on something. I'm not going to.
Damn.
And I don't want a favor. I also want it to be mutually beneficial. I want to have a name for me. I want to, you know, have some kind of traction, and I don't want to.
You don't want to give him some bullshit.
I don't just want the feature because I can get it easier than other people. If that makes sense. I don't want a favor at the end of the day, even though obviously it was a very big handout, and I fucking appreciate it so much.
But you want to do your best to make it feel like.
I'm going to make sure I do everything in my power to make sure that this was like just as all across the board even for you as it was for me. And I wanted to hand him something that he could easily, you know, being an artist, it's like if the song sounds good, it's so much easier to write to or to rap to or to enjoy.
So from a songwriting perspective, I know that you mentioned, you know, songwriting is obviously one of your biggest strengths, in my opinion, just like as a fan.
Thank you.
What is the songwriting process, right? And I guess like any tips for people that are trying to like level up as a songwriter? Because I do think that's one of your biggest strengths.
There really isn't a specific process. It can come from anything, like a conversation, right? Or watching a movie, watching a TV show, you know, talking to somebody that's 11 years old, talking to somebody that's 80 years old in a bar, in a church. It can be a dream. I can just randomly think of it out of nowhere, read a sign. It comes from everywhere. I think you just got to be open to it. Like if I had tips to become a better writer, watch movies. I'm 22 years old. I've not lived that much. You know what I'm saying? Everyone thinks they know what true love is. Everyone thinks they know what, you know, true loss is. I learned so much through movies in certain ways where it's like how a 40-year-old would handle a situation. And I can really see the effects of it. Obviously, it's not real, but it's like I'm watching the director tell a story visually, and then I can tell the same story audibly by learning through, you know what I'm saying? By living another life, by living 80,000 lives, by going to these, you know, places that are completely fiction and bringing it back to the real world and making sense of it to somebody that's never seen the movie. You know what I'm saying? Or just, you know what I'm saying? Just to myself, make it make sense to myself in a way that I understand in the art that I love.
It's storytelling.
Fire, bro.
It's learning storytelling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate art form. If you know how to tell a story, you can translate it into a song or a book or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk about Happy Dad real quick.
Swag.
All right. So obviously I'm seeing the hats everywhere. I'm seeing the cans. I'm seeing the beer pong table. I'm seeing the cooler. Is it safe to say that we are an official Happy Dad partner?
Now, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sweet. So I don't want to be like, you know, talking specifics around like the financials.
How much are they paying you?
No, come on. But I do think if you're comfortable sharing just like high level, what does an artist partnership with a brand look like, right? Because our audience would love to, of course, secure a brand partnership at some point in their career.
For sure.
So like, can you talk about like how the deal is structured, like what you're supposed to do, what they do for you? You know what I mean? Like just anything you can share about the partnership, I think would be helpful.
I have loved Happy Dad for a long time. So I had this one guy follow
Not
me.
more than a year because you're only 22, right? Certainly.
Yeah, of course not. But I didn't drink him before I was 21, but I saw him
He was
everywhere.
fascinated by the brand.
The brand
dude.
was fine.
Yes, and what it stood for. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly if Roman found me because of, I know he found me because of my music, but I don't know if I was wearing the merch or whatever, but he had followed me and I had seen in his bio, it was like owner - Happy Dad. I was like, I went to, he had DM'd me and he's like, yo, you're fire or whatever. I don't know if I DM'd him first. I forget what it was, but I was basically like, yo, I see you like work with Happy Dad. Like I fucking love Happy Dad. Like I rep the merch all the time. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, let me send you some shit. So I'm like, oh shit, y'all are fucking nice as hell. So, and then he was like, bet, send your address, I'll ship you some drinks and some merch. I was like, bro, thank you so much. So I sent it to him and he's like, bet, it'll be there in 30 minutes. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, wait, no, I'm not there. I'm not at my house. Like right now I'm at my mom's house, an hour and a half up at the road, you know what I'm saying? Different side of the state. So he's like, oh, well, send me that address. he's like, I'll send the merch. Cause I'm thinking it's coming from a warehouse or something.
Does Roman have drones?
He's like, I'll send the merch to your house. He's like, I'm gonna send you drinks right now though. Literally 30 minutes later, I get a knock on my door and there's like 11 or 12 cases of Happy Dad at my mom's front porch.
What the
I'm like, yo.
Did your mom think you were a degenerate alcoholic, or what did she think?
I caught her. I was like, look at what just happened to me. Cause even she knew. Like I've been manifesting.
She was proud.
This. Yes.
She was like the most happy a mom's ever been about 11 cases of alcohol being dropped on her front porch.
It's like, yo, cause like one of my friends, his name's Dab, but he watched the NELK Boys and all them for a long time.
I love NELK, bro.
He put me on them.
Yeah.
And so, you know what I'm saying? I had known about Happy Dad and I knew about NELK, but I wasn't really like, I didn't watch that, but then he had put me on it and I was just like super fascinated by it. And so we manifested the relationship or just wanting something with Happy Dad for a long time. So when he reached out, we started talking, you know what I'm saying? We got each other's numbers. I sent him some music, you know what I'm saying? He was fucking with it. And then he had hit me and he was like, yo, or I hit him. I was like, yo, I'm going to be a stage coach. Are you going to be there? He was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be a stage coach. Pull up on me. I pull up and he comes outside and like all the guys come outside. And he's like, all right, everybody, chill, don't act weird. He's like, meet and greet. And come to find out, he was like, yeah, bro, I put all the boys on your music. Like they all love your music. So I'm meeting all of these cool people. You know what I'm saying?
But they're fans.
Yeah, I hate that word.
Well, I mean, okay.
They like the music.
They're supporters.
They're supporters. They supported me like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you thought you were going to be
excuse me. Yeah, I'm like
the one that was
I'm
like fanning and supporting out over
I'm
them.
like hitting 7, like, bro, don't act weird.
Yeah.
Like,
And they're like,
don't act weird.
Yo, Kyle, don't act weird.
Yeah. No, so Kyle was not there.
Okay.
This is the Happy Dad crew, like Chaffee, Sammy, Roman.
Okay.
Like we met so many people, but Sammy and John and all of them had followed me on Instagram. So I was already geeked. I was already like, yeah, these people know who I am. That's insane.
The fact that John has at John.
John.
so
Sammy
fire.
has
So
at
annoying.
Sammy. I'm like, these are people.
Exactly.
These are people.
These are people. This is not John 365.
Yeah. This is at John.
This is John.
Yeah.
This is the John. The only John.
So
on the
fire.
internet.
So the takeaway, I think, is at least that you were kind of repping them before that it really the ball started rolling.
That's
right?
where we were.
No,
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
like
yeah.
summing it up for people. Like you were wearing the merch and drinking the shit in your content, and they noticed.
I loved the brand. The brand, and they liked the music. They reached out, and then we hung out for a weekend. That's what I was getting to. We hung out for a weekend, and they were just like, "Yo, we had a super good time. Like you're a super cool guy." And I was like, "Wow," because y'all are super cool as fuck. Also, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
Glad we agree. And so they were like, "Yeah, we'd love to do like real business." Like they brought it. They were like, "Bro, we'd love to do real business with you. If that's you know what I'm saying. Like if you're down." I was like, shut the fuck up.
You were trying to act cool as fuck.
I
So
was
you're
like,
like,
what are you
I'm
talking
going to have
about,
to
man?
talk
talk to my people. Yeah.
I'm going to have to run this by the team.
I was
but,
literally
like,
talking, because Roman, we were at this Patron party, and he was literally like, yeah, bro, of course we want to do business. And he just slid by. He's like, but right now it's about having a good time. I was like, I played it super cool.
Totally, it's about having a good time right now. But like the business, right?
I was like, holy
Business
shit.
is a good time.
But it never felt like business. It still don't feel like business. They're just like, I met them.
That's the best.
We're friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they hit me on random shit.
So I wanted to start off with this question, but I'm going to kind of like do it now. Anella is not your real name.
Nah, it's not.
So what the fuck is Anella Herim? What's an Anella?
So my name on SoundCloud used to be Tom, Tyme. And that, well, obviously it was a bunch of stuff, but that's what it was when I went to
Oh God.
this meme page reached out to me. They were like, yo, if you send us a music video, we'll post it for $40. We have 1 million followers. Obviously, now it's very normal. That's a normal scam. 1 million followers don't mean shit. Everybody buys followers now.
Yep.
But I was like, that's a steal. $40, 1 million people see this song. I'm like, I got to go all out. And I've always been the type to go all out. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna put 110% of my effort into it and do it right. So I immediately got a job. Well, I got 3 jobs. I got fired from them all in less than 3 weeks. But I was like, I want to shoot this in Maui. I want to shoot a music video in Maui, Hawaii. So I got jobs and I saved up until I got enough money for a plane ticket. And then me and 2 of my friends, I told them what I was doing. They're like, bro, I want to go too. So they did the same thing. And we flew to Maui and stayed there for 2.5 weeks. I shoot it on my phone, edit it on iMovie. I send it to them. They post it. Obviously, I get torn to fucking shreds on the meme page. It's a meme page. It makes perfect sense now. But they saw it. I gained a little bit of followers.
What'd you think was going to happen?
I have no idea what I thought was going to happen. I just thought maybe people were going to see it. And then it was going to be like, they're going to notice my talent. Like, I don't know. I was like, shit, I've always wanted to do music. This is my shot. This is my shot. 1 million people? I'm like, fuck, this is my shot.
Yeah.
So I send it. They post it. Does what it does. Does not do much. And then, but while I was in Maui, my sister she lived in Maui at the time. That's why I was like, I want to do it there because I got a place to stay. So let's go.
Okay.
And so it makes more sense now.
A little cheaper.
I was like, wait.
Yeah, I paid for a plane ticket.
Still, that's still expensive.
No, and I was a sophomore in high school at the time, or a junior.
Yeah.
So very expensive.
It's every dollar you had.
Literally, I literally got a job. Like
Just
for
to
that,
pay
I
for
got a job. You know what I'm saying? So she had this friend named Anella. And I don't remember if it's because I thought she was pretty or I just loved the name. I definitely think it was because I thought she was pretty. But then they taught me what a harem was, which is like a consensual relationship with like if a girl has 5 boyfriends, but they all know about each other and are cool with it. Or if a guy has 5 girlfriends and they all know about each other and are cool with it, it's called a harem. Like that girl or guy has a harem of, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, Anella's Harem would be the most insane screamo band name. That would be so fire. You know what I'm saying? Like Anella's Harem. Like I can just imagine that like, and I was like, but I'll never have a screamo band. So I took the S off and I was just like, Anella Herim. I was like, I'm gonna go with that. And then my music started streaming better. It's not because of the name. I don't know what happened. It might have been because of the name, but it started streaming better. And I was like, well, we're sticking with it now.
As you know, as much as you don't want to think that the name like had much to do with it, I mean, I'm telling you, like the amount of terrible names that we see come through the live streams, bro. Names matter, bro.
X5,
like,
4 cubed.
Shit that no one can even think about pronouncing. I mean,
RRSTZ.
it's bad, bro.
Little
so
tornado.
I'm definitely glad that you.
That's actually hard.
I'm definitely glad that you changed from Time TYME to Anella Herim. It's a lot more unique and
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. And like Nella. But I remember when I made the name, like I'd tell my.
You knew Nella was going to be the shorthand.
Yeah, I was like, bro, people are going to call me Nella. Like that's what it's going to be. Because I had a friend at the time. His name was Jordan. But his rap name was KD, and I was just I was like, this is what, call me this, I'm gonna call you that. He was like, yeah, you call me this, and I'm gonna call you that. So we started it, and then obviously I was growing up in my hometown, so everybody just called me Austin, which is my legal name. And so slowly but surely, like I would just meet new people and introduce myself as Nella. And the people that I were growing up with were obviously like, that makes no sense. Why would that? That doesn't even
it's funny how it starts to overlap.
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't even look like you. Like why you don't even look like Anella. Like what is that? That's a girl's name. And then, but I was like, bro, people are gonna call me Nella. And then now we're here, and it's like, it just, I guess it rolls. It's like
that's what I know you as.
It's comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Shit rolls.
Well, Nella, we've entered a final segment of the podcast.
Oh shit!
Buckle the fuck up, Nella.
Can you pass me one of those Happy Dads?
Of course.
Buckle up.
Watermelon.
Any surprise me. We're gonna do a little shotgun here, maybe.
Oh God!
In hopes of the Happy Dad sponsorship. We're gonna spill some a little bit, probably. That's okay.
All over the set, bro.
I live here.
That's how much we love Happy Dad.
We can clean this up later. Roman,
hit us up. Let's go. For those that are listening to the podcast right now, Henry is
certified.
Indeed, a certified Happy Dad shotgunner.
Delicious.
Certified on camera. Delicious.
Fuck, that's delicious.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit room temperature, if I'm being honest.
Cold, but you don't want too cold for a shotgun.
You're right. Shotgun actually that kind of works.
No, yeah. You gotta have it room temp. If you shotgun a cold beer, it's like, oh.
I like cool.
Yeah.
We're not bitching about it. It was delicious. Happy Dad, thank you. We are starting the rapid fire Rampage. It's going to be a 3-part Rampage.
That could be presented by Happy Dad eventually.
Presented by Happy Dad. Doesn't that roll off the tongue? It rolls
off the tongue.
Almost as good as Anella Herim.
Honest.
I'm telling you. So 3 parts. We'll explain them as we go. First part is just some short answer questions. Let's get right into it.
Let's go.
Nella, what are 3 unexpected artists, or rather who are, that you're listening to like right now, who you have in rotation?
I'm going to say, I'll just go look.
Let's go.
All right, so
Best way to do
in
it.
my Apple Music, there is Tame Impala, Dominic Fike, and Jack Johnson.
Yes. So good.
Vibes. All vibes.
I love
Curious
all
George,
3.
the theme song? Insane.
It's so good.
Hi. Okay, let's go to, what is maybe your best piece of advice for our artists listening in that are part of our community who want to reach over 600,000 monthly listeners? What's the one thing you could tell them?
Consistency, content. Like, as much as it sucks, content is almost as important as the music nowadays. So it's like, you want your focus on making content that is entertaining with no audio. If it's entertaining with no audio, the music can only add. And people will scroll. That's what I focus on my music videos. That's why I make movies, because I don't want the music. If you want to listen to music, you would go listen to music. I need this to add more than it takes away. So if you're making, and people have their phones out, people are on their phones in class, people are on their phones. Sometimes they can't have the volume.
They're on mute.
You're just scrolling, and whatever's interesting to the eye is what's going to catch somebody through scrolling.
Damn.
So focus on the eye. The music comes second on Instagram, sadly.
Wow. I think we're done. No, okay. That was so fire.
Wrap it up.
That was so fire.
That was such a good answer.
Anella Herim.
Do you have to say it every question?
Young Nedward.
An AI company wants to pay you a one-time fee of $250,000. They're going to create a perfect model of your voice. Anyone can use it to create music royalty-free. You get no back end off of anything that it's made, but you get $250,000 one time. Would you take this deal?
No.
Not at all.
Super no.
Fuck the $250,000?
Yeah, no. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I understand how much money. I understand how fast money goes now, better than anything, and I understand how much money is a lot of money. And
That's like 2 Corvettes, bro. I mean, that's it.
it's like
$1 million.
$1 million. Nah, maybe if they could do it for a year, or if there was a certain amount of songs they can make, sure, I'll take the $1 million and invest it and do whatever. And it's like, you can write as many songs as you want to. Just because you have my voice doesn't mean you have my message. So it's like, you can listen to me without hearing me.
Let's go.
You can listen to me without hearing me? What the fuck?
This guy has bars, bro.
Nella, your dog can now speak English. You have to give it an accent to speak in, though. What accent is your dog speaking in?
Bro, my dog is Cuban as fuck. Have you seen my dog, Aspen?
I haven't.
No, we have no idea what your dog looks like.
She's beautiful. She's a tri-mural.
She should be in more content.
She has 2 different colored eyes.
Ooh.
She's my baby.
That freaks me out. I'm not going to lie.
She has the attitude of a literally teenage girl. So it's like, but I just imagine she would have a man's voice for some reason, like a Cuban, just like talk super fast,
yeah,
and be super like always knows what she wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and she like got the zoomies like crazy.
It's very intentional.
You know what I'm saying?
The
love it.
zoomies.
Nella, what are the last 3 DMs that you sent? Come on, pull it up.
No, just kidding.
No bullshit.
It's gonna be the most boring. The ones that I've sent.
Sent, not received. Because we know you've received some bullshit.
One of them was Parker Sharp, and he's from Charlotte. That's my dog. He sent me a video of them playing Bougie Linens on the radio, like at 1:04 p.m. today. And so I texted him back, and I was like, let's
go.
I made it say go, but it says TOOO. So I said, let's do.
All right.
Go.
So Bougie Linens on the radio. That's fire.
Parker, if you're watching this, I just sent you that DM that said go with an asterisk.
He just corrected it. All right, what else?
That I've sent.
2 more. No cheating.
To my mom, I sent this meme, and I'll send it to y'all, but it says, I'm sorry, Jack, there's not enough room. And it's a play.
Is it Titanic?
Yeah, it's Titanic, but
sure.
there's the English, it's like there's not enough room. My dog's on here. And I'm talking about Aspen.
I love it.
So,
Wow.
Jack can't get on because Aspen's on.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sorry about that.
Not enough room for Jack.
And then what else? So the next one would be, it's the group chat. Oh, they deleted the video though. It was so funny. So I got a group chat with my boys, and it's called Geef, Geef. Because that's what we say. We're like, it's like, I'm geefed right now. I ain't gonna lie. And so I sent them a meme.
It's just a play on geeks.
Kids these days,
We're
bro.
not geeked. We're geefed.
Or geef. Well, actually, one time we were geefed, and I went to say gift. And I was like geef, and then I was like,
You call it geef?
yeah, I was like, sorry, bro, I messed up. And then I was like,
Sorry, bro, I'm geefed.
I'm geefed.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm geefed. And so it just became a thing.
Wow. Shout out Gift in the building.
In the
I think we've shouted
building.
out everyone in the building now.
For sure.
Indeed.
Sure.
Yep.
Fire.
But
All
I
right.
sent him a meme, and it says message
is unavailable.
So best is unavailable. That's really
The
cool.
meme page that posted it did not perform well.
No, they deleted it.
They moved on.
All right.
2 more for the short answer. First of all, if you were an emoji, what emoji would you be?
I would be the emoji. It's a new emoji, and I'm either this emoji.
Salute.
Okay.
Yeah, or I'm the emoji. It's got like just a face, and he's like shaking. He's like this, but it's got like the you know what I'm talking about with the air around it.
Yep.
I would be like those guys. They're like,
It's like a wait.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
There's a moving emoji.
Yep.
I'll show you. No, it doesn't move. It's just like
It looks like it's moving.
It's right here. You see it?
Have I not updated my phone?
That shit. You see where it's like got the air around his face?
Oh shit! I haven't updated my iPhone.
So there's one of the.
That's some shit
bro.
right there.
And then there's one that goes up and down, like it's just the opposite spin.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
definitely me. That's how I answer everything.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. Update your phones, people. New emojis.
You're missing
iOS 17 or whatever we're on now.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck we're on now. Last one of the short answer. What is your favorite curse word?
Shit.
Shit.
You can say it everywhere. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing.
That's my no. We share the same favorite curse word.
feel me? That's that shit.
Mine's always been shit.
And you can customize it. Shit.
It can mean good, bad, average,
Literally.
excited, bored. It's just an unbelievable word. To be honest, we're moving on to part 2 though. This or that, starting with bass guitar or 808.
808.
Third verse or bridge.
Bridge.
Singles or albums.
Albums.
Ironically, interesting. Yeah, no, I like that though. It's in his heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't control the public, but I can control me.
There you go. The perfect producer or the perfect engineer?
The perfect. Ooh. Shit. That's a good one. Even Seven's back there like, ooh.
He doesn't know.
I'm going to say. Nah, producer. I feel like you know what I'm saying? The beat is 50% of the song.
Facts. Tommy Richmond or Shabuzi?
Shabuzi.
Rock climbing or pickleball?
Rock climbing.
Fortnite or GTA?
Fortnite.
Permanently speak in falsetto or your left leg is 2 inches shorter than your right leg?
Permanently speaking falsetto.
And finally, become a full-time K-pop singer or leave the music industry forever?
Full-time K-pop singer.
Let's go.
Yeah, gas.
He's going back to time. TYME will be his K-pop name.
I don't know. Anella Herim still might work. I don't know.
Could.
Okay, we're moving on to the final section. This is the word association. I'm going to say one word. You just give me the first word right back off the top of your head. First thing you think of.
Got you.
We're really going to tap into the subconscious of Anella Herim right now. Let's get into it. Starting with music.
Life.
Spoon.
Fork.
Drip.
Drop.
Content. That's acceptable. We'll take
Shit.
no. We'll take noises. Yacht party.
Soon.
Burrito.
Taco Bell.
Hook.
Chorus.
Low battery.
Fuck.
Midnight.
Nah. Ooh. Studio.
Sadness.
Usual.
Minivan.
Swag.
Lil.
Pump. Wayne. Wheezy.
You can't change it. Season.
Fall.
I was thinking like we'd get a number, but
4,
That'll work,
5, something.
we'll take it. This is fall is the season. Let's fucking go, man. Anella Herim.
This has
on the
been
pod,
Anella
baby.
Herim on the One More
Let's
Time
go.
podcast. If y'all fuck with this interview, please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast. Go buy some motherfucking Happy Dad. This shit is delicious. And go stream Anella Herim. Season 3 out now. Let's go.